We did a video for you, part 1 of organizing our small living space, and this is the second video we're doing on our organizing our living space. We showed you what our bedroom looks like, and now we'd like to show you our living area. So here in this room we have our dining room, our living room, and our kitchen all in one space. And we've been here for 5.5, 6 months, something like that, and so we've been experimenting a bit with how we can comfortably fit our family of 5 in this living area, and we found some things that work pretty well, so we'd like to show you how we've been organizing it. This table is the center of attention throughout the day. We do have our meals here, we have our family homeschooling projects here, crafts, lots of different things here. So we also kind of move around the camper. Some kids might be sitting on the couch having their reading times, some might be in the toy area in the other room, but a lot of the activity happens here. So if you want to show some different parts of the room, we've got cupboards up here. This is kind of our catch-all. We have recipes and we have electronics, vitamins, all kinds of different stuff.
Things we don't want the kids getting into.
Right. We have found that space where you can safely keep things that kids can't get into is precious. We also have up here our stereo system, and we have cupboards with our dishes, and these have glasses and cups in there. And let's see here, over in this area here we have a bookshelf. Originally I had the whole thing full of kids books, but I discovered that they really didn't need that many books all the time, so we kind of filter through different books. And then on the bottom shelf I keep our Bible study books and my journals for the kids, homeschooling, things like that. We have diapers in the corner. And then up here we have another junk cupboard. We have drawers for pens and pencils and erasers and batteries and different things like that. Sunscreen, stapler, bigger objects that can't fit in the drawers there. Moving along, this is our bread bag and aluminum foil cabinet. We've also got some maps and address books up there. In these two cupboards we have cooking supplies. I think I have mentioned before that we keep much of our food in our storage camper. In here we keep the basic cooking supplies, sandwich making materials, breakfast things that we use mostly on a daily basis.
You do not want to freight these shelves down. This thing is already popped apart, and I had to put a little ankle bracket on the back of it to hold it together.
But, we have boxes of pasta and things that aren't that heavy. We do have a couple of flour containers, but we try to keep those in the back and limit how much of the heavy things that we do put in there. We have, in these cupboards, coffee. We have storage containers for leftovers, which we don't have too much of leftovers because it is hard to reheat them without a microwave.
That's the other thing you want to think about is if you don't have a very good power source, solar panels and stuff like that, that's not a good power source. That can get you by, they can run your pumps, that can run some of your lighting. Like right now it's been, the last video we had the kids watching some TV and that was loud, so I'm hoping the generator is not loud and disruptive on this video. But it's been rainy, so we kind of have to, make power with our generator. And when you don't have a very good supply of electricity for 1,000 watts or whatever, you're not going to have a microwave. So reheating any of your leftovers, you got to keep that in consideration because you're stuck with a gas oven and in range.
So in these drawers here we have silverware, dish towels, and cooking utensils. Larger spoons and smaller spoons in here. This drawer is smaller. And then in these cupboards we have our dish drainer in here, which just barely fits. Recyclables are underneath, and we have trash bags and cleaning materials under here. More cleaning materials, and our potatoes. And then I think the last storage area, really, is our fridge. So we're going to be real here and show you. We haven't been grocery shopping for a little while, so there is not a whole lot in our fridge for the regular kind of stuff, but I got some vegetables and milk, and so we have room here for 4 containers worth of milk and orange juice.
If you usually drink with gallons of milk, you're going to be taking up a lot more space. We use soy milk and we get the half gallons, and we usually buy 3 a week.
But this can fit comfortably 3, but we have squished 4 in here, and the half gallon of orange juice, and plenty of space for vegetables and cheese, that kind of thing.
And the freezer space. And we try to keep things out of the freezer. We don't want to have a lot in the freezer because we've had problems with, it's a Norcold refrigerator, gas operated refrigerator, and the Norcolds are notorious for just quitting. It's not because they're broken, it's just because they have to, you know, be turned off and set for 24 hours before they can be turned back on and used.
We usually do have a couple packages of meat in there, so on the off chance that does happen, we can put them, we can leave them in the fridge or in the freezer as it cools down and just eat it over the next day or 2 if we can. So we also have 2 other storage compartments underneath the chairs. The whole length of the chair has storage space underneath. There's a door here. This also lifts up, so you can open up the whole thing, and then there are doors on the outside of the camper so you can access the other end easily. We have Lego in this one and games for the kids in this one.
So
if you have any questions about how we managed to store everything in here, you can feel free to ask us. We'd love to help you if you're trying to start, if you're moving into a small space and trying to work that out. Prioritizing really is very important when you're moving into a small space or trying to simplify your home no matter what size it is, figuring out what you really need, and that does make it a lot more comfortable when you're not trying to pack the place full of things.
The other thing we wanted to discuss is, and it's a touchy subject, but person size. We both are small people. We're not very tall and we're not very big, and we can get by in here fairly well. But it wouldn't take but a couple sizes more, and we would have some tightness issues. We're already tight, and we're you know, I'm 155, 160 pounds, and you know, this is a very small area right here. And this little hallway right here, I'll have my wife pull the camera. But this is the typical way we sit. Whoever is sitting on the couch, this is how we sit. It doesn't matter if you're a kid, it doesn't matter who you are. So when somebody's trying to walk by, you always have to do this. Usually there's like a laundry basket or something over here. Many of the times there's something in this corner, so we're always, you know, blocking right there. And it gets tight. It's amazing how quickly things like narrow up and get clogged. So if you're looking to get into a small space, a camper or whatever your small space is, and specifically a camper, there are things you want to think about. If you're not a small person, try out the bathroom. Go into the bathroom, sit down on the toilet. You don't have to use it, but sit down on the toilet. Close the door. Bring an extra jacket in. Wear a jacket into the bathroom. And then try taking the jacket off while you're in the bathroom with the door shut. And try out the shower. You ought to get in the shower and stand up in it. If you're a taller person, you will want to know what you're getting yourself into when you get a camper. You want to know what the bathroom is like. We have a very small bathroom. It's like 3.5 feet by 5 feet. And when you have a little vanity and a toilet and a shower stall in there with a small bathtub, it is very cramped. And I could say for myself that I wouldn't feel comfortable using it if I was another 50 pounds, just because it is tight and I'm not a big person. And Naomi, she's a small frame person, but we're going to be pregnant, or she's going to be pregnant in this thing full term. So she's going to have to really be watching herself while she's in the bathroom, because she's going to be very obtuse and she's going to have to worry about getting in and out of the bathtub and managing balance. So that's going to be an interesting factor with us this
handrails
this winter.
We will be doing an episode or a video on the bathroom, but we wanted to mention that now because even when you're not talking about the bathroom, even just about the living space in general, that is something to consider.
Yeah, if you've got one larger person in your family, you might be able to do it. But if you're a family that's just, you're taller, you're bigger, whatever, you really want to consider the space that you've got. It would make all the difference in the world if we had just a 1 to 2 foot bump out right where this couch is, and a lot of your campers have that. We couldn't afford that. I didn't find any campers with a bump out that were even close to our area, and the ones that were, like, that I could find, that still there was probably a 200-mile travel to get them, they were $3,000–4,000 more than what we purchased this camper for. So it does add quite a bit to get a bump out. But I can say that if we were larger at all, we would want to have that bump out, just because of the congestion that we always get in the hallway here.
While we're on this topic, there is one more thing that I forgot to mention. We did talk about the laundry in the last video, but the other thing that we have a difficult time with in a camper is trash. There is not enough room underneath the sink because of the shelves that they put in there to put a trash can. And so what we ended up doing was using Walmart Hannaford bags on the bathroom door, and when they get filled, we take them back outside to the big dumpster and just empty them out there. So we have a very small amount of trash in here at a time, but it also, it adds weight to the bathroom door, so that is one downside. But hey, there's less smell in here from trash.
Speaking of trash, the other thing you'll find if you're living in a camper is you want to be on top of the mold issues. Propane causes a lot of humidity buildup in your camper. Doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the summer or the middle of the winter. You're going to have a lot of humidity. And given the cooler nights where we've been cooking or something, we will have water just dripping off from the aluminum frame on the window. And in our bedroom, we should have been a little bit more on top, but there was mold growing on some of the vinyl, which is easy to clean up. That's good, because you put some bleach on it and it cleans it right up. But it's one of those things that
you don't really think about.
You don't think about it, but you want to be on top of it, because it can do some damage if you're not paying attention to it.
And that may only be an issue for people who live in northern climates or that are more moist. I'm not sure.
If it's a dry climate, you're probably all set. But I think that would probably wrap today's
Alright,
video up.
And next we'll have the bathroom and the kids' bedroom.
And this is Naomi. She is doing dishes. She's actually almost done with doing the dishes. But when you live in a small space, you have to use every available surface. Of course, we have our coffee and our water jug here, but that takes up a lot of room. But she was doing some baking today, so we have, all of our pots and pans and some of our mixing bowls out. And the table doubles as another work surface. So this is just kind of an idea as to what it really looks like when we are doing dishes.